Your camera's off, by the way. Uh, hello. You ready to go? everything unmuted and that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Hello, everybody, and welcome to All Things Football. Today is going to be something a little bit different from us. We are obviously doing a live stream, and hopefully, this will be the first of many. We will be discussing West Brom's 1-1 draw with Manchester United at the Hawthorns. I'm just going to start off by saying, feels like a loss, feels like a dagger in the heart. There's something, as is the league title. Are we out of the title race?
We were out like 2 weeks ago.
We
were out. And now just emphasised it even more. City win their game in hand. We're going to be 10 points behind. They'll be 10 points clear. Just give them the title. Just give it to them now. But yeah, let's start off as we usually do. The lineups. What are your thoughts when you first saw the lineups?
It's a normal lineup. On his first, I guess his best lineup. Obviously, Pogba's not here, so he's not involved. I don't believe Mason Greenwood should have been dropped because even Solskjaer admitted it. He's been amazing in recent weeks. He just hasn't been able to add goals to his game, which is obviously unfortunate. I think he's on one Premier League goal this season, which obviously isn't the best, but I just don't feel like he should have been dropped for Anthony Martial, because what that did in turn was put Marcus Rashford on the right, which isn't his best position. And I feel like we might have suffered a little bit today because of that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like without Pogba, obviously this is our second best team, potentially. But yeah, obviously Pogba's injured. Greenwood benched this time. And yeah, that, as you said, he shouldn't have been benched. Martial was just non-existent in that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, start with the defence. Maguire and Lindelof, the worst duo. The worst defensive duo. They do not complement each other.
It's crazy because Eric Wright's sitting on the bench. I genuinely think this goes without saying, and it's not something that I'm trying to be funny about. Smalling and Jones are a better centre-back partnership than Maguire and Lindelof, because we have someone in Maguire who's, I know he knows he's a decent high-level centre-back. You have to be to play in the Premier League. You're a high-level centre-back, but I feel like he thinks he's better than he is. He doesn't stick to what he's good at. He's good at battling people in the air, battling people on the ground, in terms of he's always going to win the header. That's his game. His game isn't dribbling 40 yards with the ball and playing a little intricate pass, but that's what he does. And he just... Yeah, there was a few times in the game where he dribbled up the park and then he was just so far out of position. It's like, why? Why are you doing this? What? I just need to understand the reasoning behind this decision making.
And also, obviously we conceded within the first 2 minutes of the game. Lindelof, how can you allow... You're literally in front of the striker. How is he allowing him to get in front of him and then score a header from that position? It's such poor defending.
I'm not obviously saying VAR is to blame for this, but I think the mentality that the fact that VAR is there has installed into players' minds. Any little touch that a player gets now, they're going to go down, then they're going to try and win the free kick. I think 5 years ago, when VAR isn't here, Lindelof wins that, because he knows that there's no second referee somewhere else in England that will be on his side. Because in reality, VAR is the referee being on the victim's side, because it slows everything down to 0.25 speed. So any little touch that a player gets, any hand on the shoulder, anything like that, and it's going to be a foul. So Lindelof feels the contact and he just kind of gives up a little bit on it, because he thinks, I'm just going to get given a foul in 2 minutes time and it'll be alright. But obviously it didn't get given as a foul, and I think rightly so. And we conceded, unfortunately, and we were playing catch up for the next 88 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just seeing the comments, people saying frustrating game, disappointing game, and those are like the perfect words to sum up the game.
Yeah,
as you said, Lindelof maybe was looking for the foul, and the best guy looking for fouls is Harry Maguire. He tried it last week against Everton, this time the halfway line. Calvert-Lewin dispossessed him, and then he tried it again inside our own box. If it wasn't for David De Gea's brilliant 2 saves, we would have been 2-1 down. I
He
don't
needs
I
to
don't
go.
understand. Can you explain why he's trying to do that?
Because he's Harry Maguire. He doesn't know how to take accountability for his own actions. He needs an easy way out of situations. When Nyang, I think that's his name, Nyang, when he was pressuring him, he's a rough striker. We don't have many of those anymore. Players are used to the Lucas Moura's used to get run rings around you. They're used to that. They're not used to hands-on physicality. That's what centre backs are there for. There's no Diego Costas in the Premier League anymore. Harry Maguire, really, if he was smart enough, he would have just played it back to De Gea first time and let De Gea kick it clear. That's what should have been done. But he didn't because he thinks, yeah, I'm Harry Maguire. I know I have someone pressuring me, and I know he's right behind me because I can literally feel him. But I'm going to try and take the ball down and then do something else. And it's just when he realised, oh my God, I'm going to lose the ball. I'm going to try and go down, try and win a free kick. It didn't work. And you said it right there. If it wasn't for the brilliance of David De Gea, we would have 100% lost that game. And I can only put that down to Harry Maguire. He is a liability. He is our liability at the back, and it's just a shame that he's wearing the captain's armband.
Do you think the price tag, the 80 million price tag, do you think it's kind of giving him some type of arrogance, like the way in which he deals or carries himself?
Yeah.
As he said, he wants it to be all about him. He wants to drive with the ball, and then he wants to make the pass, even though he's not the creative player. He finds himself like almost. I saw him left wing. I saw him in the left wing today.
Same.
Left wing today.
A couple of times.
Okay, if he's going to be so far forward, why not get in the box? Obviously, the last minute he got a header in the box and hit the post. Why couldn't he be there much earlier in the game? Instead of trying to thread the passes into Cavani, why not join Cavani in the box? We see all the top sides do it. They sacrifice some of the defenders to get in the box. But yeah, if you sacrifice players to get in the box, that's how you score goals. And then we saw it in the last minute when it was too late and he hit the post. I mean, if he had scored, we wouldn't be talking. Would we say all the bad things about him right now if he won the game in the last minute? But
well, yeah, because you can't flip-flop. You can't, just because a player scores a goal, you can't just ignore everything bad that they've done. Harry Maguire's been consistently average, but also consistently makes the same mistakes, which is something that he needs to eradicate from his game. Otherwise, he won't be able to progress to the next level. In terms of getting him into the box earlier, I feel like that's less important now because we have Cavani and he is a genuine threat in the air as a striker. Yes, it was 1-1 for obviously a long period. I think for the whole second half. But I feel like if Maguire was trying to get into the box in the 75th minute, the 80th minute, say they went and counter-attacked, we would still be saying Maguire this, Maguire that, why was he there? So I can understand why he wasn't getting into the box. But the fact that there was a couple of times where he was just in the left wing position, and I'm thinking there was no need for you to carry that ball 40 yards. You could have literally just passed it to the same player 10 seconds before and you would have had more time on the ball. And that's something that our whole team needs to grasp and get a firm understanding of. We, as a team, apart from Van der Beek when he comes on, because of the way he was brought up in terms of the football he was trained with, everyone just takes so long on the ball. We're looking at 3, 4, 5 touches at a time, and I think it's just ridiculous. It's getting to the point where we're going back to not being able to break teams down. We went through a phase where, it doesn't matter, they can put 10 players behind the ball, but we're still going to find a way to score. Because we were playing fast football, and we were passing it quick, and we were making little tiny, subtle movements that would, give us a little couple yards of space. But now it's just receive the ball, and I feel like they don't know what they're going to do with it before they receive it.
But yeah, on to positive news. Luke Shaw, another assist. He's just on fire at the moment, the best left back in the league.
Definitely.
But, yeah, he did get forward quite a few times, put a few crosses in, but I guess the finishing or the clear cut chances weren't created today.
Yeah, and, it's just a story of how the match went. You could tell that we were out of ideas when Rashford was trying to take shots from outside the area. Bruno Fernandes took one. It's just we had everything down the flanks today. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. But in the box, Cavani was just a shadow. He wasn't. It's like he wasn't playing.
He was welcomed to the Premier League. 34 years old today. He was welcomed. He was physically dominated. He was slow to the ball. It just wasn't. I mean, I think it's the
He just had an off day.
age. I don't know.
He just had an off day.
Yeah.
Still talking about the lineup selection. I feel like it's all nice and easy talking in hindsight, but I feel like the game could have gone a lot different if we started Greenwood on the right, Rashford on the left, and Cavani up front. Because I've said it so many times now, I will always say it. Shaw and Rashford is our best duo. It's our best combination. Down the left, when they're on top form together, no one can stop them. Because one, you have to do with Rashford, who when he gets running with the ball, he dribbles like Neymar when he's travelling at full speed with the ball. And then you have Luke Shaw, who's playing out of his skin this season, doubling up on the defenders. It can't be stopped. And then obviously you have the world-class movement of Cavani, who's a proven striker at the highest level. And then you have Greenwood, who's our star boy. Then when Martial comes in, Rashford's on the left, so we don't have that partnership. Martial doesn't run, move, travel like Marcus Rashford. And then we don't have Greenwood, who's probably the best finisher.
And also Greenwood, I feel like Greenwood had built up a relationship with Wan-Bissaka on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
They knew when Wan-Bissaka would overlap. Obviously, he's been going forward a bit more the last few games. And Greenwood knows when to pass to him, or when to cut in and shoot, or when to pass. And then we saw that when Greenwood actually came on. He looked good, but I guess it was just they had all their men behind the ball and we couldn't break them down.
Yeah, because it's normal in life, not just football, but when you're with someone enough, you build a relationship with them. You start understanding each other. Gary Neville Beckham, that was one of the best right-sided partnerships in the world. Ronaldo and everyone on the left, same thing. You had Michael Carrick in the middle, I'm going to say Darren Fletcher, you had Scholes and Roy Keane. Once you start playing with someone enough, if you're of a high enough quality, you build relationships and partnerships and duos that really genuinely can't be beaten. You have Salah and Trent on the right for Liverpool. You have Robertson and Mane. For the past few years, have been probably the best attacking wide duos in the world. But here we have an already established duo, Marcus Rashford and Luke Shaw, which is proven. And then you have something which is building with Greenwood and Wan-Bissaka, but it keeps getting switched around, and they're not being given the time on the pitch to just build that solid relationship. We know that Greenwood isn't the right winger, but what he's doing on the right for his age and in the team that he's playing in is brilliant. And it's just very frustrating. It shows the naivety from, that's not even a word, but I'm going to make it up now. Shows how naive Solskjaer is in a way. He's just let it flourish. Nothing is going to be 100% straight away.
Yeah. And talking about, obviously, partnerships, duos, we have our deadly duo, Scott McTominay, Fred duo. In midfield, the dead duo. It just doesn't work. You can't have, obviously, McTominay box to box. Yeah, I think he should start. But Fred, he can't pass. He can't make a pass. He tries to ping it over the top, and it's just the passes lacks power. I don't get it.
I don't know what's wrong with Fred. He has obviously played well for us, but you cannot play in patches if you want to play for Manchester United. Well, apparently that's not the case anymore, but we need to be in the market for a central defensive midfielder, an elite specialist defensive midfielder. When Partey went to Arsenal, I would have wanted him because he's fast on and off the ball. He's good in the tackle, good defensively. He has good defensive nous. He knows where to be, and he can actually pass the ball. Fred, every five out of 10 passes, it's not going to be a good pass. It's not going to be a perfect pass. It's going to be slightly behind, under hit, over hit, or just out of play. Because he's done that a few times, and it's just with McTominay.
He's always off balance or something.
Literally, I've seen the ball come to him. No one's even near him. There's not even a fast ball, and it's just like, why is that touch not perfect? I know no one's near you, and you have time to make a mistake, but why is your touch dead when you're not even under any pressure. And it's just things like that that really confuse me as to why he plays so much.
So yeah, as you were saying about McTominay.
McTominay, I like him, and he has grown in the season. He's getting in on goals and assists. His goal contributions, I think, this season have been more than any other season combined. I think every other season combined. But he needs someone next to him with McTominay's performance depends on his partner.
He needs someone who's solely defensive next to him.
I don't want to see Scott McTominay having to sit back and defend, because that's not his game. That's not his game. He needs to be able to get forward. He's box to box. He's like a Ramirez. I would say Ramirez from. Do you remember Ramirez at Chelsea? I think for me that would be the perfect comparison, because Ramirez was never an exceptional defender, but once, and he was never an exceptional attacking midfielder, but he's just good at both. Like, he's able to get forward. He has an amazing engine like McTominay. He's fast. He's strong. He's not afraid to get into challenges, and he's able to score. So like Ramirez next to him, I can't remember who Ramirez had next to him. I cannot remember, but it would have been a specialist defensive midfielder. Fred is not that. We need Scott McTominay needs a specialist defensive midfielder, so he doesn't even have to think about defending, because then he's just not able to fully express himself. Because Bruno Fernandes doesn't have to think about doing other stuff, because he has Rashford on the right and left, he has Greenwood on the right, and he has Cavani up front. It works the same for everyone.
Yeah, moving on to the attack. Rashford on the right, Cavani up front, obviously Bruno 10, Martial left wing. Martial was literally non-existent that whole game. I don't recall him doing anything. Literally, I actually don't. I don't know if he took any shots. I mean, maybe he did, but maybe I wasn't watching. But
I think he got to the byline once, if I'm remembering it correctly. That's not good enough.
Then obviously he came off. Greenwood came on, and the fact when Martial came off, he had literally had no facial expression. He knew he was coming off, and I think that was quite sad to see. That obviously you want your strikers or you want your players to feel unhappy when they come off, but the fact that he knew and just came off is like a sad thing to see.
The only thing I can say, he came off in the 66th minute, 20 minutes after half time. I think he would have been told during the break that, yeah, Anton, you're going to come off for ringing or whatever Solskjaer calls them up. He hasn't been that good this season. Obviously, he was our star man last year. It was him, Rashford, and Bruno Fernandes. Martial is a player that needs an arm around the shoulder to get him really confident and to get him playing well. When he didn't have any competition, because let's face it, Odion Nagalo was not competition, he was able to say, I know I'm starting, and I'm the focal point. I'm that guy. I'm the striker. I'm going to take all the responsibility and I'm going to play out my skin. But now he has Cavani, it's almost like, oh, well, he's the first choice now. Cool. It's like he's not really.
It's like he doesn't want
putting
to
in the same effort. Yeah.
I mean, surely getting Cavani would make you want to compete even more, but it's done the opposite. It's like he feels like we're treating him badly or shifting him away for a 34-year-old striker instead of developing him. Maybe he feels that way, but obviously he shouldn't feel that way.
But we've seen it with him before, so we slightly should have expected it when Ibrahimovic came in. Obviously, his first season under Van Gaal, he was our top scorer. He was very impressive for such a young player. He was probably our best player that season. Then Ibrahimovic came in. Obviously, there was a bit of personal issues. You know, his number got given away, but he just wasn't playing well because he had that competition up front. Someone took his position as a striker, and I feel like exactly the same thing has happened with Edinson Cavani. And we're seeing the same results. It's not something new.
And then Marcus Rashford on the right hand side, as you mentioned, it doesn't work. As soon as he came on the left, he started actually doing things. But on the right hand side, all he can do, he's restricted to literally just crossing it in, and that's not his game. As he's not a creative player, and he did find himself in a shooting position, in the goal scoring position, on the right hand side, but what he did is he cuts back, and is he lacking confidence? I don't know. He decides to cut back instead of shooting.
I think he's lacking confidence. When he plays on the right, he can only really cross it in. Like, as a, when you play football, I think you just get to understand certain positions on the pitch. You feel much more comfortable because I feel like you have much more of the goal that you can actually shoot at when you cut in from the left and you have a right-footed player. You have much more than whether you're kind of limiting your angles down the right. So I feel like that's why he takes so many touches and tries to cut back and tries to do something else. But he really needs to get that goal just to kickstart his season a little bit, because even though he is getting assists playing off the right when he does eventually switch to the left, there's just so few things that he can do when he's on the right. I just feel like he's probably thinking in his head, why am I here? Why am I on the right? I want to play on the left. We all know that's my best position.
Yeah, and then obviously onto Cavani up front. We already said that he was dominated. He was walking into the Premier League at 34 years old, physically dominated, speed-wise dominated, and he just wasn't. We didn't see him. And the thing is, if you're starting Martial and Cavani, you can't just take off Cavani. Who are you going to bring on? Or if you take off Martial and Cavani was also having a bad game, who are you going to bring on? Obviously, Diallo was ill, so he didn't make his debut. Greenwood came on for Martial, but yeah, he's the other option. Does that also mean this transfer market we have to look at someone else?
You see, that's the thing. There were reports the other day, not slamming Martial, but saying he might have to leave. I don't disagree, but for the sake of his career and what he wants to do, I know we're not going to have Cavani long term, but if Martial did leave, obviously we would have to sign a replacement. But I can't see us signing another striker if Martial's still here, because obviously we have two quite high quality strikers on their day. His situation is so tricky because Cavani, I do prefer Cavani, I won't lie, because of his movement and only because of his movement. Martial's a better dribbler, he's faster, but he just doesn't have the same energy levels as well.
The thing is,
as well as the
we
movement.
all know Martial, full confidence. We saw it last season that he can do it, and that's the thing. We know it's just down to confidence. Football's a confidence sports, so on his day, Martial can be, I think, better than Cavani because obviously he's faster. I mean, he can score headers, but it's just a movement. He just needs to develop that movement.
Yeah.
We saw it last season, but it's just not here this season.
I really hope it is just confidence. I hope it's nothing else.
Well,
I hope nothing's going on behind the scenes.
Well, obviously after today's game, there's reports more racial abuse after the game aimed at Martial.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So there's players these days obviously facing so much more racist comments than before. And the thing is, he's being. I mean, I don't get the point. How most of it is obviously must be our fan base. Obviously, it's our fan base, trying to put him down. And
I don't even know what to say on racism. I won't lie. I don't think it's ever going to stop. It's very prevalent in this country and in the communities that we unfortunately have to live in. But it's so tricky to talk about it, I think, especially when it comes to footballers, because obviously I don't live their life. I don't know how much he sees of it. Do you know what I mean?
No,
so
they definitely see it. Like you can't.
They definitely see it.
You have an
avoid
Instagram account. Players, obviously, everyone uses Instagram. You're gonna scroll through Instagram once, and then you see one comment, or so obviously it does affect them. It happened to Twanzebe a few weeks ago. Rashford. It happens to all of them, and then you just can't avoid it. They're humans at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's tricky, man. It's really tricky.
Yeah. So let's move on to West Brom. Obviously, they scored inside 2 minutes, and Sam Allardyce parked the bus, 10 man behind the ball, and that's it. They defended well. We struggled to break them down, and they got the point they deserved. They could have even got 3 points.
I feel like if they won the game, we couldn't have complained.
No.
They have terrible team. I'm sorry to say, West Brom. With all due respect, you are not a good quality Premier League side. Their striker, if that was anyone else, if Cavani gets those chances, we win the game. If anyone on our team gets those chances, we win the game. But they were just so resolute defensively. And that is because of Sam Allardyce. That's what his game is. Those are his tactics, and he's proven it wherever he's gone. So we can't be surprised when they play a game like that. But man, they were frustrating to play
the amount of possession we had 73% possession, only 10 shots. That doesn't really add up. I think that proves how, they played well defensively, but that's how poorly we created chances. Hardly any chances are made.
And to make things worse, I would say 3 of those shots were from outside the box that were blocked within a yard or two. It shows how poorly we played, but shows how well they played defensively, because all we could really do was pass it left to right, looking for that gap that never appeared. And you have to give credit where it's due. They had a good game, and if anything, I think they would feel like we dropped 2 points. And we can't feel like that.
We shouldn't even be in this situation. We shouldn't be drawing to relegation battling teams.
Exactly.
We can't actually say that because we lost to Sheffield at home. But
that's different.
Now we're drawing to West Brom. I knew we wouldn't lose because our record away states that we always go a goal down or something, and then we win the game, or we just don't lose.
Yeah.
But then obviously Bruno Fernandes scored that great goal before half time, and I'm expecting them to push on in the second half. It's the energy. It wasn't there.
I don't know how to describe the way we performed today. I feel like we're getting a bit too big for our boots. We need to realise who we are as a team, not a club. We don't need to think we're Manchester United. We need to think we're in this position right now. We are so far off the top, and the teams behind us are catching us. They're never going to say
we're level with Leicester now.
I'm not worried about Leicester. I'm really not worried about Leicester.
Leicester beat. We'll get onto that result later, but yeah, Leicester.
There's certain teams that are high up in the table that I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about Tottenham. I'm not worried about Chelsea, and I'm not worried about Leicester. Anybody else? West Ham, I'm more worried about them because any team can have a surprise season. When you get those surprises, it's like, when do they stop? I'm more worried about West Ham than I am about the other teams that are in and around us, Liverpool as well, because it's like we don't usually lose against Leicester. If we came up against them next week, we could probably beat them. If we came up against Tottenham, it would either be a draw. We'd either get hammered or we'd win. We don't lose by 1 against Tottenham. It's Chelsea the same. It's just we are going to finish in the top 2. We just have to pray and hope and rely on other teams, which we shouldn't have to do. We have to hope that City drop points, because that's just the way it is, unfortunately.
So I just seen a comment, someone saying, obviously, Man U can't be losing to relegation sides or even drawing. And someone just commented, Martial needs to have Shaw's mentality. Shaw has improved tremendously after the arrival of Telles, and fight for the position. Martial tends to throw a tantrum if there's competition for a spot.
It doesn't work the same way for everyone. He's not wrong. Coldwater's not wrong at all. Shaw, I feel like Shaw's a bit of a different case because he's been here under all of the managers, but at the same time, he was set back so hard with the injury. He had to fight his own demons before he could even think about having a competition with someone else. But with Martial, he came in, he was the star boy. Mourinho came in, everyone knew their relationship wasn't very good, and he also had to compete with Ibrahimovic, who has proven to be one of the best strikers over the past more than a decade. So it's like, Martial needs that arm around the shoulder, and I think he needs to be the only one. I don't think, if he's going to have competition, it has to be someone like Carlo. You know what I mean?
I don't think I agree with that. Footballers, the whole life is based around competition. You need to be able to rise above the competition and prove that you're the best. That's what football's about, proving that you're
of course, definitely.
I mean, we shouldn't always just have to put an arm around him. Maybe something's happening in training. I mean, obviously he's doing something right in training to be starting over Greenwood. He's been playing well. But then what's happening after when Martial's not playing well? Are they telling him or just, I don't know. It's just, Martial's just been like that this whole season. He hasn't got into full stride.
Everyone has a different personality, and some people are mentally stronger than others. Obviously, we don't know any of the players personally. We don't know what goes on in training. We can only know from what Ollie says in press conferences and what we see on the cameras. So, Martial is obviously a talented player, and I feel like he started today. If it was, I don't know, West Ham, he wouldn't have started. We're playing against the side in the bottom three who's definitely going to get relegated, so you do tend to play a bit of a weaker side, but he needs all the support he can get. He needs someone to tell him, look, you're Martial, you're this and that. He needs to be gassed up.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like he is being at the moment.
I mean, someone who should be doing that is our man, our £80 million man, our captain, Maguire. He should be doing that. Read out the things you found about Maguire. What did he say in his interviews?
Let me drag them up because I have a bone to pick with this guy. Okay. We were so certain it was a penalty. These are quotes from Maguire's post-match interview. We were so certain it was a penalty. Not sure why they needed to send him to a monitor to talk about the referee. The clip was minimal, but it was a penalty. It seems like the decisions are going against us. Now, everyone's okay and forgiven for expressing their opinion, which he did. He thinks it's a penalty. But when he says it seems like the decisions are going against us, all that does is pass on the responsibility and the blame away from him, away from his mistakes, away from his inability to do certain things, away from the team's inability to do certain things. Captains that we've had in the past take the blame, they take responsibility and say, this is how we're going to improve. They've called out managers, they've called out tactics that aren't good enough. Maguire doesn't do that. Maguire thinks he's all this and that, so he doesn't know how to take accountability for his lack of actions. It's terrible. Ferdinand would never say that.
I mean, yeah, as captain, you need to take responsibility. You need to be accountable for whatever's happened on the pitch. Don't put it in the referee. Oh, the referee should have given that decision, or the referee should have given this decision. You just do what you need to on the pitch, and then you don't have to be talking about this or blaming someone else.
But then, to be fair to him, he does go and say we can't be relying on VAR decisions. We have to improve standards. I think a toddler would say that. He needs to be. There have been too many interviews in the past where he's just passed it all on, passed it all the responsibility, and it's something that infuriates me because please send Bruno after the match to take the interviews because his English is good enough and he's done them before.
What Bruno would do is that he would just, I mean, the thing with Bruno, he's straight to the point, which is very good. But then he could start forming divisions in the team, but that's what we need. We need someone who's going to point a finger. And I don't think Harry Maguire's that guy. He's not going to be pointing a finger at anyone. I don't think.
If Bruno Fernandes causes divisions in the team because of his honesty in post-match interviews, then we need to get rid of some players because obviously you don't have a strong enough mentality to play for Manchester United. Go and play for someone in the Championship because if you can't take criticism and you can't take constructive criticism from one of your own, from the best player in the team who's very evidently dragged your performances up and the team up the table, if you can't take that, then you shouldn't be playing here. Yeah. I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah, Coldwater said that he believes Maguire and Lindelof not good enough. And yeah, they're both liabilities at the back. Every time there's a counter-attack, the pair always give him heart attacks. And yeah, it's true. When you have two players who, obviously if we're being counter-attacked, who can't run, it does give you heart attacks. And then obviously Bayou's on the bench, he's faster. Twanzebe is also fast. But having two centre-backs who are literally not agile doesn't complement each other. And you just, when it comes to playing better teams who are fast, then we're just going to get exploited at the back.
I think Coldwater is right. both individually, I don't think they're good enough to play for a title challenge in Manchester United side, and they definitely don't complement each other. If we had someone who were linked with, if we had Koundé or Rafa Varane next to Maguire, then first of all, we'd have someone who complements him, and I think Maguire's performances would increase because he wouldn't feel the need to do certain things. He wouldn't feel the need to dribble out the back 40 yards with the ball because he thinks he's prime Cannavaro, or he wouldn't try and put himself in different positions because he feels like his partner next to him can't do it. He would only focus on what he needs to do, and that's something that we're missing. But we have it on the bench. When Maguire plays with Eric Bailly, it's a better partnership.
Maguire won't get benched. I saw a quote, I'm not sure who said it, saying that Maguire's selfish.
He is selfish.
He's not allowing, he doesn't want to get rest, he doesn't want to be rotated or whatever.
Yeah, he's a very selfish player. He plays for himself. He said in an interview a couple of weeks ago he will rest when he retires. What kind of... That's stupid. It's stupid. It is selfish. That's because he thinks he's the best.
Yeah.
And he's not.
But yeah, talking about transfers, Upamecano signed a deal in principle with Bayern Munich. That's what you call getting business done. And I mean, we can't complain that Ollie is the board.
Yep. We could have signed Upamecano last year, but because of the incompetency of the board, it's just something I get annoyed at myself even think it could have happened. Bayern Munich obviously have a monopoly on the Bundesliga. Not with Dortmund players anymore, but because of
everyone
must have been some verbal agreement.
I mean, what's the point in that? But
Leipzig, probably their best player, has gone. Leipzig is second, I think, at the moment. Obviously, they're trying to challenge for the title, and their best player is just signed for the team in first. That's like Man City signing Fernandes from us and Salah from Liverpool. Like it doesn't make any sense. But there is going to be former teammate Konate, someone that we're looking at as well, along with Jules Koundé and Rafael Varane. And also, I'm praying to the high gods, the football gods, Woodward, please don't do me like this. We're linked with Tyrone Mings. If we sign Tyrone Mings,
no way.
If we sign that guy, I don't even like his face. Like if we sign Tyrone Mings, we're finished, and it just shows that we have no ambition at all.
The thing is, I feel like that is the type of signing that would actually happen.
Yep, deadline day.
It would actually happen.
Yep. We are gonna sign Tyrone Mings on deadline day.
Is that Tyrone Mings is a top 6 player? He's going to be in England squad. That's going to be their justification.
Yeah. I'm not ready for it. I don't know what I will do if I see Tyrone Mings holding up a Manchester United shirt on deadline day, because he's not a good centre back. We need to stop signing centre backs from teams that play a certain type of way. We signed Harry Maguire from Leicester, sit back on the edge of the area. He has no pace. He's not good defending the counter attack, and look, he doesn't come from a background that plays like a Manchester United player should be. We need to sign the high level players, or players that play at a high level club, that play a certain type of way, because Koundé's fast, Varane's fast, Konate's fast. I can't see any way Tyrone Mings fits in the Manchester United.
I'm seeing people saying Tyrone Mings isn't that bad.
Nah, man.
For Aston Villa, I mean, no disrespect to Aston Villa, but they're not the type of team we need to be. Okay, I can't even say that, but it's just Tyrone Mings. He's not.
No. You say it because it's Grealish is an anomaly at Aston Villa.
Yeah, Grealish. I was gonna say because I can't just say that because of Grealish. Grealish is there, but Aston Villa is not the type of club that we need to be buying a centre back from. Centre back is such a crucial position. We need to be buying someone who has at least shown it in like Champions League or has shown it at such a higher level. And Tyrone Mings hasn't shown it in the Premier League. He's
a scummy player.
He's not good enough for where we want to be. We want to be winning titles, not just coming top 4 every season or whatever. We want to be winning. We need a solid partnership. Maguire and Mings. Does that sound solid?
If I saw Maguire and Mings lining up, I support Liverpool because that's unacceptable for Manchester United. Ainsley says we need to stop signing centre backs with potential. We need world class centre halves. Correct and incorrect. Depends what level of the potential they're at. Kunde isn't a world class centre back, nowhere near it yet, but he's a very good centre back. He would be able to fit in very quickly because his potential is incredibly high, but he's only been around for what, a year, probably not even 18 months. He would be perfect. Marquinhos would be if we're not going to sign Marquinhos, but a boy can dream. We can dream. There's so many options out there that we could sign, but we got Maguire and Lindelof.
Moving on from transfers, let's just move on to the other results from today. Obviously, the earlier game was Southampton Wolves. Wolves won, beat Southampton. Hasenhüttl still has his job.
He's not going to get fired because of where they are in the league, but I think we have to take a minute.
He won't because they even went through in the FA Cup. So
yeah, no, he's safe. He's safe. And we have to talk about Pedro Neto in that game, man.
Yeah,
Pedro Neto's winning goal. Ooh, that guy!
That guy! He is underrated.
He's a star boy. He's
very underrated.
He's not going to be at Wolves next season. One, because of where they are in the league, and two, because of how good he is. He's definitely moving to a top 4 side.
If he didn't have Diallo, then I would actually say, because he's actually right mid. He can play right mid, left mid. He can do it.
I'll still take him. There's nothing wrong with, what we just put Palestra on and Alves. We can do the same with Diallo. If there's someone better, why would you not want to get him?
And yeah, obviously, game just finished. Arsenal 4, Leeds 2. Aubameyang is back. He's back to 2 goals. Wait.
He's got a hat-trick. Yeah.
He's got a hat-trick. Okay.
Aubameyang, I don't care. I don't care about him like that. It's Arsenal. If I'm totally honest, I don't really follow Arsenal that much anymore. They've gone past the point of being a funny club. I think they genuinely are at their level. Saka needs out. Smith Rowe needs out. Everyone else can stay. Because they're going to lose next week. I don't know who they're playing, but they're going to lose next week.
City. I think they're playing City this game.
Perfect.
That is going to be that game. And then obviously Fulham playing Everton right now and winning 2-0 away from home.
Fulham winning 2-0?
Yeah, they're winning 2-0 at the
moment.
Swear. Yeah, Josh Maja, their new signing, Josh Maja, the guy from Sunderland Till I Die. Have you seen that? The doc.
I haven't actually watched it.
Yeah, I watched that when he was a younger player and he was very good. And he's come back to the Prem and scored 2 goals.
Can't say that I know anything about him, but
he's a decent player.
It's funny how we can't be Everton, but Fulham could do Everton Park. 76 minutes, I doubt Everton are going to come back on that.
They'll win. And then yesterday's results. Before we get into the main result, we'll start with Brighton at Aston Villa 0-0.
It was a nothing game.
Yeah. Burnley beat Palace at their home. Did you see, what's his name?
Matthew Lowton.
Lowton.
He has a good collection of very good goals. I want to say 2000.
He scored for Aston Villa like a volley outside the box. 2000.
What year was that? 18. It was between 09. 18.
Oh, no, not 18. No, yeah, 09.
But
when he was young.
09 to 11, something like that.
Yeah.
But he has when he scores, they are good goals. It's not being talked about enough because it's Aston Villa.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's Burnley, sorry.
Yeah. And then, obviously, onto the main results. Man City 3, Spurs 0.
Spurs. See what I mean when I talk about Spurs not being a threat?
Spurs and Mourinho.
No matter who they have in charge or who they have in their team, they're not going to win anything. Harry Kane, if he doesn't leave Spurs, he genuinely might.
His career will
be 30 before he wins a trophy. Same with Son.
Win anything.
No,
he leaves.
Son and Kane need to leave, and with all respect to Spurs, they're so dead. Son needs to go to. Son at United. I don't care who we have up front. Son's playing up front.
No,
if we had Son up front, Rashford on the left.
We should have splashed the cash a few years ago and bought Kane. I remember when we were linked with Kane, we didn't get him.
Yep.
And now he's just there sitting at Spurs doing what? he's getting goals, but for what?
Nothing. He's breaking records for nothing.
City just the way Gundogan sat just down. His neck must have broke. Like he actually broke him, and then the way he fell on his neck.
Do you know that for like a split second, yeah, he did a move. Obviously, he weren't dead, but it was like in his head. He was like, "Nah, this just happened. This is not just."
That was worse than the Boateng one.
No, for real. Because the Boateng just stiff in the casket. He just
fell, and then he fell first, and then he fell on his neck.
He fell twice.
His head was stuck on the floor.
Great. Gundogan has always been a fantastic player. He was meant to be Sir Alex Ferguson's last signing before he retired, but unfortunately we couldn't get him. So he's always had the quality and the potential there, but it's a shame that he's had to score a couple of goals for people to actually realise what how good he actually is. But he's been playing out of his skin recently. You can't doubt him. I don't even know how old he is. He doesn't age.
City, they're playing without De Bruyne, their main guy, and they're putting in such good performances. Literally, Spurs, I mean, that's Mourinho's game plan. They just didn't have a plan. They didn't do anything to harm City. But then, if they're going to defend, they didn't defend well. There was no press. There was nothing. City it was just easy. It was just too easy for them.
Yeah,
that's worrying, because if City were not even in gear that game, it's going to be a long end to the season.
But the old saying is the Premier League, anything can happen, and it has already this season. So
we can.
No, don't give up hope on the title. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And obviously, Liverpool out of the title race, losing away 3-1 to Leicester.
Harvey Barnes, what a player!
Harvey Barnes.
Can't see him leaving, but what a player!
He destroyed them. He was too fast for the defense. The defense, obviously, they've had injuries, but there's no excuse for champions.
Yeah.
They keep saying, every Liverpool fan can say, "Oh, injuries," but you're a top club. You should be able to attract the top players. Or what is going wrong? Why are your players getting injured or something? Even if your players are injured, they didn't play well. Okay, it's just the defense which isn't bad, but going forward, why are they not creating or doing what they used to do?
I don't know. Obviously they have people out, their main players, their two centre-backs, but it shouldn't have had that bad an impact on the team. They're not mentality monsters. I think this is statistically and factually the worst title defence ever in Premier League history. I don't feel like they just... Any match they go into now, I genuinely feel like they could lose. They could lose 5 games in a row, and I wouldn't even be surprised at this point. Obviously, they're battling for top 4. They could have been out of the top 4 today if Everton had won, but obviously they're not. West Ham have a game in hand over them. They could go up to 4th if they win. And I feel like the second Liverpool touch 5th place, I think that's it for them, and they will be scrapping for their lives to qualify for the Champions League. And as a United fan, I'm loving it. I love to see it. But at the same time, it's quite weird to see such a fall from grace, and it's weird. It's not something I'm used to.
Yeah, so it's not going to be another 30-year wait. I mean,
hopefully.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that should round up the episode. Obviously, next week, looking ahead to next week, Champions League, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then obviously we'll also be talking about the Europa League on Thursday. Our beloved Man U are in the Europa League. But yeah, we will talk about the Champions League, I think, on Tuesday evening. We have Barcelona, PSG. That's the big game to look for. And then Leipzig, Liverpool as well. That's the later, yeah. And then, yeah, what are we playing on Thursday? Sociedad on the early kickoff.
Yep. Well, good news about that. Oyarzabal is out potentially of both legs. Their star man. So that's a good thing for us.
So yeah, I think that should round up the stream. We're streaming for about almost an hour. This is our first live stream. I've actually enjoyed it. It's been good.
So I'm liking the interactivity.
With people who are commenting. big up
But
to
before
everyone
we
who
go,
has commented and joined the stream. The stream will
I'll
be
say
available to watch anyway afterwards.
remember to follow, like and subscribe.
Mm.
Also share this video. We'll be doing a live stream hopefully very soon again, and hopefully you can come back and get involved. We like seeing your comments, and it's nice to speak to people as well.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for tuning in.
So yeah.